can all agree that we come from different walks of life. We were born in different cities, maybe even different countries. We were raised in different hometowns. We come from different cultural backgrounds. We maybe even speak different languages. We prefer different types of food. We are majoring in different things, aspiring to have different careers. But there is one thing that we all have in common. We are college students. And what do most, if not all, college students have in common? Lack of sleep. So today, I'll be talking to you about a few consequences that lack of sleep brings to our bodies. Like I mentioned, most, if not all, college students suffer from sleep deprivation. So it's important to know what this affects our bodies. And it's important to know because sleep is not only a luxury, it is a vital part of our health. So today, I'll be talking about three things. The way that sleep deprivation affects our brains, our hearts, and our judgment. So now let's visit our bodies, starting with our brains. As students, we are in a constant routine of staying up all night long, studying for tests, and finishing up homework. But we fail to recognize that this greatly affects our brains because we are constantly staying up and learning new things, but our brains are affected, and our brains are where these informations are stored. The Effects of Sleep Deprivation on the Body, written by Ann Pietrangelo in August of 2014, writes that our brain is the information highway to our bodies. Sleep is necessary to keep our bodies and our brains functioning well. An exhausted brain can't perform its duties well. When we have lack of sleep, we can't learn efficiently and concentrate on the things that we need to concentrate on. The second thing that this affects in our brains is our memory. Memory loss. In 2014, Camille Perry of WebMD and 10 Things to Hate About Sleep Loss writes that various sleep cycles consolidate our memories throughout the night. Without the proper amount of sleep throughout the night, we won't remember the things that we experienced throughout the day and won't be able to retain the information that we've learned. Now that we know a little bit about how it affects our brains, let's see how it affects our hearts. Heart conditions usually are associated with the older generations. So as part of the younger crowd and as college students, we fail to recognize that we also need to keep our heart's well-beings into mind. In 2015, a Telegraph.com reporter wrote why lack of sleep is bad for your health, mentioned that sleep deprivation is associated with increased heart rate, increased blood pressure, and even inflammation. Another thing that this affects is our weight gain. Pietrangelo in 2014 also suggests that sleep plays a vital role in healing and repairing our blood vessels and our hearts. Sleep deprivation can cause a high risk of heart disease and even strokes. Students now, since we are so young, we fail to keep these things in mind. But over time, we can suffer from heart failures caused by long-term sleep deprivation. Now that we've visited the brains and the hearts and how it affects our bodies, and how sleep deprivation affects our bodies, let's see how it can affect our judgment. When we have lack of sleep, we get really crabby, want to sleep throughout the day and even end up falling asleep in our classes. We get really cranky, and some of us even claim to be monsters. This is caused by our mood swings and impaired judgment. Lizette Borelli of medicaldaily.com wrote Sleep Deprivation, 7 Dangerous Effects of Long-Term Sleeping Problems in March 2014 and reported that excessive sleepiness results in impaired decision-making, increasing a desire for unhealthy foods. This affirms the association between lack of sleep and weight gain and even obesity. Pietrangelo also voices that sleep can get in the way of emotions, causing us to be short-tempered and have mood swings. It's clear that sleep deprivation negatively affects our bodies. It has many negative consequences, whether they come to bite us now or later. Today, we've learned that sleep deprivation is not only a luxury, it is a vital part of our health. Today, we discussed that lack of sleep affects our brains, our hearts, and even our judgment. So the next time you plan to stay up all night to study, think again.